Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Four Continental Podcast after quite some time. So today we return with the football. Finally, the season has officially kicked off. So now we this is head straight into the games. Starting off with the English Premier League, Newcastle versus Liverpool. So, Singpak, do you wanna start us off?
Yeah, sure. I'll take the lead. So obviously, first thing first, it feels good to be back. Feels like it's been a while since we have done this. But going to this game, I feel like on paper we really were the better team. So I was expecting a win, but after watching the performance and everything, to be honest, with a draw, I'm happy with it. Because throughout the game, I feel like Newcastle were better for the most of the part. And just speaking for Newcastle side first, I think like Visa had a really good performance. I think like the new right back, Dedic, I think that's what he's called, and the other fullback, Lewis Hall, obviously great as always. And yeah, I think it was a really solid performance from them, and a lot of people were kind of writing them off this season, but I feel like if they continue on these performances, they were good. But speaking for the Liverpool side though, uh, I feel like for most part, I think the problem with us is mainly that it feels like all the players are like way too attacking in the sense, especially in the midfield, because we did see like from the times when we were getting countered on, the defense was just not able to catch up, and I think the reason with that was because we had like Sposlai and Gravenberg, who are both like players that kind of like to go forward, and yeah, in general, I think I was disappointed with the performance, but at the end of the day, I think it's just the first game. I don't think like it's something that ruined the whole mood of me. So yeah, what do you think of the game, Moment?
Yeah, so starting off with the game, I my new kind of think that as much as we as Liverpool fans used to you could say like troll Trent for his defending, but I mean if he was going forward, he would actually be putting like some good crosses and stuff into the box. But after yesterday's game, I was a bit disappointed from how Frimpong played. I think there were quite a few chances where he could have crossed it or passed into the box, but he just tried to dribble and he lost possession of the ball. And secondly, talking about Rio and Gomoa, I know he's like 17, 18 years old now, but uh, uh, I had this thought about him even in the last season. I just think he is not really prepared for the Premier League level yet. I mean, we saw he couldn't really get past much from Hall. He defended well against him, but yeah, Rio really tries to he prefers to dribble rather than pass the ball. But so yeah, I think this would basically cost him. He should try to explore better options rather than trying to dribble. You know, it's basically yeah. I mean, once again, the teamwork plays a part here. And speaking of our midfield, so Bosley, as usual, he's been good. Words, he's been all right. His first game of the season, it's under the new coach. So I don't really, have any really, very much complaints from any specific player. Even Kirk's people were clowning him after he couldn't really hold off Ilanga. I mean, Ilanga has some insane pace, and he took advantage of the pace and he went on to score the goal. And yeah, Kirk's couldn't really get to stop him. Jeremy Jackwit, he made some good tackles, some good defense. Van Dijk, he was all right. He was good as well. Now, with Gravenberch, I think there were a couple of moments where he was he was in the attacking side, but his his passes weren't really up to the mark. Like his decision making wasn't really there. At one of the point, he had Soboslai on one side and Isak on the other side. If he had passed it to Soboslai, he had an open shot to goal, and it would have been 1-0 for Liverpool. I think it was in the opening 20 something minutes. But yeah, his decision making a couple of times during the game have been a bit poor. When with all the experience that he has, you would expect him to do well in those circumstances. But it's okay. Once again, it's a new season of it's a fresh start. We have a new coach. We have a couple of new players. And before I talk about the new signings, let me just quickly talk about Gakpo and Isak. Didn't really look as bright. So I really hope he improves in the upcoming games. And as for Gakpo, the first goal he scored was a banger. But then after that, um, he was all right. It was the typical Gakpo you would see, yeah, always trying to cut in and stuff. It has become at a point that almost every other fullback that plays against him knows that he's gonna cut back, he's gonna cut in and try to take a shot. But yeah, I really hope he changes that and scores more goals for us and does better. And now moving on to the new signings, Ronald Araujo. He came on the 70th minute. I think he did quite well in the defense. Uh, So yeah, he did well. And then secondly, we had Munoz coming on for Rio and Gomoa. Munoz, he looked really sharp. He definitely, from my perspective, he played better than Rio. In he played better than Rio in the second half in the 30 or so minutes that he had in the 27 minutes or so that he played. He even won us the penalty which Soboslai converted to score the equalizer. But yeah, I really positive from the side that Munoz is a really good player. And in the upcoming game, I would like to see if Iraola would start Araujo at right back and try to push Frimpong at right wing, or maybe start Munoz at right wing. So I'm really excited to see how they line up in the next game, and also if we make any signings in the transfer window, which we really need to make.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
yeah,
like, I think in particular, I think the substitutions were quite refreshing to see because I feel like for last season, I feel like most of the time the substitution used to happen like quite late to the point like they didn't even like feel worthwhile. But going to this, I mean, McAllister, I was happy to see him back because, like he had a great World Cup. So, and also Munoz, we cannot like skip through that. He literally won the penalty. I think great performance, and also Rahul. I think like only when he came on he made a mistake, but after that he was like solid. But yeah, I was kind of happy to see the substitutions like that. And speaking for the attack side, I feel like a lot of people are still like shitting on words too much, but I feel like in particular this game, I feel like a lot of players were underwhelming. I mean, Rio, I don't think he had a bad game, but I think it's clear, like even we seen in preseason, like he does not like play the best on the right. And I just wish like the fullbacks, I wish like the tactics for the fullbacks would change because I feel like it's more of a tactic problem. I think like they need to be more a different style. I think, but yeah, Diego, anything you want to add? Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I couldn't see much from the game, but I'm actually excited to see what Liverpool brings this season. They have a new coach. Uh, the team is different now, of course, so I'm really excited to see what Liverpool brings this season. I want to see more of Wirtz, for example, from Rio. He seems like a very good player that can keep developing even more in the future. I was wondering if Gakpo would have like stay at Liverpool, like go to Spurs. They were like links, but I'm actually very excited to see what Liverpool gonna do this season under Iraola. And also the penalty from Soboslai was like amazing. Seeing a penalty like that, the guy just looked. and shoots. You know, like he's just so good at like penalties, free kicks. You know, that's something like not so common in players these days. You know, like specialists in these situations. So yeah, I really like him as a player, and I really hope that Liverpool can put up a good fight for the title. It's gonna be a great season for sure.
I mean, bro, you don't gotta cap like that. I mean, I know you're not excited or anything. You're an Everton fan, bro. We still remember.
Nah, Liverpool's great, man. I like Liverpool.
All right, man. Moment, anything you want to add on?
Yeah, so before we move on to the Barca game for an detailed analysis from Diego, uh, yeah, I mean, just wanna add on for the Newcastle side a bit. I was really, we could like good to see Dedic doing well because he was quite good for Bosnia during the World Cup as well. So I am really glad he was able to come to the Premier League. I think he was in Benfica before this, but yeah, he came on to Newcastle, and I think he did well in this debut. So yeah, let's move to the Barca game now. Let's put the Barca game now. They played Elche. Quite a dominating win. So what do you have to say, Diego, on the team performance?
Yeah, it's interesting because it didn't feel so dominant like when you watch the game. Elche wasn't like a defensive team at all. They were trying to attack as much as Barca. They were like playing offensive football too. So I'd say the first half was like challenging to Barca. You know, Elche was trying to attack, not only defend all the time, and then Barca gets a penalty and Rafinha scores, and it's like 1-0, and that kind of changed the game a bit. Barcelona starts like being more offensive, attacking more. But LSU, even though they lost, I respect a lot their posture. You know, to actually to be an offensive team, a team that attacks, not only defends, because you know the team they're playing against are better. So yeah, I think and then at the end he scores. I think he was like kind of nervous at first, but after some minutes he was more comfortable and he got a chance and scored. And then there comes like the second half, and I was really nice to see Gordon coming on the second half and actually getting two assists in like 10 minutes. So people were really like wondering if he would actually perform well for Barca, and I think with only 10 minutes he answered a lot of questions, and he's definitely gonna fight for a starting spot in the team. And there was like a chance he could have scored, and he passes to Fermin. Fermin scores. And yeah, in the second half, you know, it feels like Barca was finding like the spaces very easily. You know, they were literally it was kind of challenging in the first half, but in the second half they kind of like dominated the game, the rest of the game. So yeah, overall was a great performance by Rafinha, by Firmino at the end. I think Yamal was like a little bit off. You know, I don't know what if he's still like recovering from injury or you know still not 100% fit, but it wasn't a good performance from him. You know, he didn't show up much in the first half, and you know when he tried to do something, he actually wasn't actually able to. You know, so I hope he can find his form back in the like in the next games. But it wasn't really a good performance for him. It wasn't a good performance from Gavi too, in my opinion. But he also is now with an injury again. He like fell his knee again, so I don't know if he's like he's gonna do exams to see if he has actually an injury. But yeah, I think this Barca team is actually gonna improve a lot. You know, Rodri didn't play, wasn't a starting. Pedri wasn't a starter. So there's still a lot of adjustments to be done, and I really think this team can actually compete for all the trophies like La Liga, Champions League. It would be a very nice to see this team throughout the season. But it's a great game overall.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, like we have been seeing like Barca like progressively improving in the league and stuff. But I think like a lot of fans they are probably focusing like hoping they would perform in the Champions League now, because I feel like, over 11 years since they last won one. I think a lot of eyes will be on that. But obviously, I didn't watch the game. And you did say like Yamal didn't have a good performance, but do you think it was an exaggeration? Because on online, I was seeing like a lot of people were saying like this was one of the worst performances by Yamal on in a Barcelona shirt. Do you agree with that, or do you think this over exaggeration?
Yeah, it was very, very bad. I mean, actually, I don't know if it was like with an injury or something. It felt like he wasn't really trying much, you know. The first half didn't get the ball much, but when he did, he wasn't really creating much chances. He actually gave a very good Trivela pass to Rafinha the first half. Rafinha missed it, but I think that was like his only good moment in the game. So I don't know if you guys saw later. Now he was like subbed down in the second half, and he was like very sad in the bench. You know, he was really not happy with that performance. And from what I've seen from last season, he can do so much better than that. You know, so I don't know. Maybe it's because of it's the start of the season, and as long as Barca keeps playing, keeps like getting good challenges, I'm sure he's gonna improve. But it really wasn't a good performance. What do you
Yeah,
guys think about Barca this season?
yeah. I mean, it's definitely very exciting to see Barca. I mean, making all these signings. Karim Adeyemi, Gordon, Rodri. There's a lot of Alvarez saga going on as well. I don't think Atletico will sell him to Barca, but he really wants to come to Barca, and I think he agreed the personal terms as well. So yeah, I really hope he gets to get his dream move, but I don't really see it happening. And although I didn't really watch the game, I watched a couple of highlights in the morning when I woke up. So I mean, from the highlights, of course, you can't really tell much, but I'd like to talk about Fermin Lopez. He's been, um, you know, He's been performing really good from the past couple of seasons. Whenever I've watched him, uh, he's been doing really well, and it was really unfortunate not to see him at the World Cup. I think it was because of his injury. So yeah, I think he did quite well last night, and all even though this isn't Barca's main 11, because there was no Pedri, there was no Rodri, and even the defense. I'm not sure if that's gonna be the main defense for the rest of the season, but yeah, I definitely think there were a lot of key players missing. But yeah, with all the signings that they made, I think Barca be really could be in a really good positions to win. Quite a few trophies this season actually. So I have, you could say, high hopes from them in this season. So yeah, let's see how it works out for Barcelona. What do you think, Singh?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, when it's up against Madrid, I will support Barcelona. But in general, to be honest, in the league, I really wish like there's another team which, shows up and actually like pushes for a title charge. But I guess that really won't happen. I mean, Atletico, they are still quite garbage, I think. And especially with now, they are like holding Julian Alvarez like hostage. And yeah, in general, I wanted to ask you all, like, what do you think of that situation?
Yeah, Diego, what do you think? Do you think Barca will sign him, or does Atletico sell him to Arsenal instead because they're interested as well?
Yeah, I think the main issue is that Atletico doesn't want to sell him to Barca. I think if he would be like any other club, like a Premier League club, they would sell him because he clearly doesn't want to be there. So I think to Barca, they won't sell him. And he actually has to play because it's in his contract, I think it's to till 2030, his contract with Atletico. So if Atletico doesn't want to sell him, there isn't much he can do. So yeah, I think if it was like to another prem club like Arsenal, or even back to City, I think Atletico could have like agreed in selling him. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, looking at it, I mean, there's been a lot of debate, like how Atletico are handling the situation. And while I do agree that we can clearly see, like, Alvarez, he does not want to stay there. You do kind of feel bad for him, but at the same time, I really cannot like disagree with Atletico's decision because at the end of the day, he did sign a contract, and a contract is a contract for a reason. I mean, it was clear like Atletico wanted him for years, so they made him sign a big contract, and Alvarez signed it himself. So, uh, like, it is not a good situation, but I still can't really say Atletico are fully in the wrong here. What do you think of it, Moment?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you would understand that Atletico and Barca are rivals. You know, Madrid rivals. So yeah, they definitely don't want to sell it to one of their rivals there. I mean, we saw how good Alvarez can be. So yeah, they definitely don't want to take any risks. But yeah, on the other side, this also reminds me of the Liverpool situation with Barcola, because similarly we also have personal terms agreed, but PSG is just being too greedy, and they're asking for too much money for him. So I really hope they also lower their price down so we can get him to Liverpool and yeah, move on with our season. But I think it's been going on for weeks now. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy how similar both the situations are. But it's not like PSG doesn't want to sell him to Liverpool. But it's just that the fees that they're demanding is just a bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that similar because, like you have said, for PSG and Barcola, it's more about like the fees. I don't know why they want this much money. It's crazy. I think the market is really like messed up in general. Like, I really thought like I thought we would overpay for him, but like even then, I think it would have been like 80 million or something. But the fact that they want like 130 million or more, that's just beyond crazy to me. And yeah, and for Atletico, it's clearly they just don't want to sell to Barca. I mean, I think like they are open to selling him to Arsenal or some shit.
Yeah, I think I recently read an article or news from a journalist that I think they have set the price to 150 million for Alvarez, and I don't think Arsenal would be paying that much, but I'm not sure. Maybe they will, but yeah, basically the decision is clear from the Atletico side. They're definitely not gonna sell it to Barca, any other team, but not definitely not Barca. So yeah, let's see how long this saga goes on.
Yeah, and Diego, I actually want to ask you as well. So there were also like rumors of Lautaro Martinez, like Barca trying to sign Lautaro Martinez, and I mean, I think there was news yesterday that Inter really don't want to sell him. But how would you see like Lautaro Martinez at Barcelona? Just like assuming the transfer would happen, would you be happy with the signing or no?
Yeah, I think Barca really needs a striker and he can score a goal. So I think he could be a great signing for Barca, but it's really hard to buy him from Inter Milan because he's kind of a legend there, you know. So it would be really a hard transfer just like Alvarez. But I think he would work really well with Rafinha and Yamal because he's like a different type of striker. You know, he's like fast, and so I think he could be even better than Alvarez in my opinion. But it's a really hard transfer, so I don't think it will happen too.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, he is, quite big in Inter Milan, of course, with the fans and stuff. And even if there's some interest, they won't, just like they definitely won't sell him for less than 130 or something. They're definitely gonna make gonna ask for a crazy amount of money. So yeah, it's I personally don't see it happening as well. But yeah, let's see uh, what After all, they do have to sign a striker, Barca, and let's see who else they have on their on their sides. Maybe they can get him. So yeah, for now, we just I think a week or so away from the deadline. Yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting week. Many surprise transfers we're gonna see maybe. So yeah, I'm really excited for the transfer news for sure.
Yeah, and I think in this window we have seen a lot of like surprising transfers and stuff. But Diego, what transfer were you like the most surprised with?
Most surprised. Uh, yeah, I think City has been making some moves, right? So now if they sign Enzo, that would be very, very surprising, in my opinion. But they just signed Boadi, right, from Lille, and Anderson for the midfield. So yeah, I think they've been making some moves. Also, Real Madrid signed Diamonde and Bernardo Silva. Yeah, it's an interesting window, but I don't think they were like a very so impactful signing so far. You know, the whole like Vini Arsenal saga was very fun to see too, even though he like renewed his contract. But yeah, I think there's still time. There's still some days, for the window. So let's see what happens. Do you guys are like expecting a signing from Liverpool?
Yeah, we definitely are expecting a few signings. Maybe a CDM. Winger is definitely on the cards. I mean, we saw with Ambaye and Barcola, and I really want Liverpool to, go for Antonio Nusa, and because I think he's been good for Leipzig as well as for Norway. So yeah, I, and also that nowadays I think we also agreed personal terms with Minte from Brighton. So yeah, but similarly, our bid was rejected by Brighton as well. I don't understand why every club is suddenly so greedy. And yeah, I hope that things are sorted out and we can make some good signings. But yeah, with how the things are currently, I think they're just gonna ask for some crazy amount of money, and I really hope it changes because we're only a week away from the deadline day. Yeah, I really hope the both the clubs can talk it out.
Yeah, I mean like the Minte transfer in general I think has been quite crazy because I swear like there was a time when like players were injured, they would like get sold for lower, but apparently that doesn't matter anymore. I mean he's literally injured right now and they rejected 50 million from him, which I think is crazy. Like he like he isn't even that good in terms of stats and stuff. And I think like now we went for like 60 million as well, right? I just think it's a crazy amount of fee, but I like understand like he probably has potential and stuff, but I just think the fees are absurd.
Do you guys think Gakpo will stay?
Yeah, I think he will stay now because I think like Spurs have now like not only they have signed like Savinho, now they have signed like Marmoush as well. So and I think like the Gakpo transfer like that was like 2 3 weeks ago. Like we haven't like heard much since. Yeah, I think Gakpo will stay. I reckon, and I hope he stays to be honest because I think like the fans turned on him way too quickly. I think in general when you think of him, he only had like one bad season. I think the other seasons he had, he was still like decent in my opinion. So I don't want to see him go. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hendrik would be great for Liverpool, but he wouldn't. He prefers Madrid's bench, sadly. So, but I think he could be great for Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean we don't really shouldn't get him. I personally don't think we should get him because we still have a TK. I mean he's injured, but yeah he will return. I mean if Isa gets injured or something, we could try Gakpo on the striker position as well. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna go for a striker now. We definitely our priority has to be a winger and a CDM maybe. or two wingers, something like that. But we definitely do need some signings to strengthen our side.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we will probably just push for the attackers only for the remaining transfers. Like, although we like we have said, I think we do need another midfielder and also like a right back maybe. But yeah, and speaking of Akatike, I was really kind of missing him. I feel like with the type of player he was, like he you kind of like see him like creating chances himself and stuff. So I just really hope he returns back with a very good form.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone's waiting for his return. And yeah, I mean, the season has basically just started. We've only like one match into the game. Yeah, really excited to see how the team plays, and yeah, so yeah,
I
do
think we
we?
could like
Yeah,
do a like league predictions, like Champions League and like the main leagues. Just
yeah,
who's like the champion, you know?
yeah. We can do like the three leagues, maybe Champions League, Premier League, and La Liga, or if you wanna do Serie A and Bundesliga as well, or Liga One. Yeah, that's which leagues do you wanna do?
Could be La Liga, Premier League, and maybe Bundesliga.
Yeah, I mean Bundesliga. It's
Bundesliga.
usually just one answer.
Yeah, it's Bundesliga and League One is like
Yeah, yeah.
kind of
So
easy.
yeah, so yeah, let's do Serie A, Premier League, La Liga, and Champions League. So yeah,
Or even
Diego.
Serie A. I mean, Serie A, bro, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean we don't really have, has Inter been winning it consecutively lately. I think it's gonna change this year because Juventus, I think they're gonna do well. So yeah, or do you just wanna stick with the three leagues? Premier League, La Liga, and Champions League.
I mean, I'm down if y'all are down.
Yeah, we don't know what else you have to Serie A as well. So yeah, Diego, why don't you start us off? Champions League. Who do you think gonna win?
I think Barca wins it this year. You know, it's been eh, every
Yeah,
year Barca fans believe this, and then Barca gets knocked out for the most
yeah.
random teams.
I wonder why. So yeah, let's move to La Liga. Oh, so similar answer, I assume. Uh,
Yeah, I think in like league Barca is like way more effective than Madrid, so I think they win it again.
yeah. So what do you
And
think of Serie A?
I think Inter wins it too because they've made some great signings, especially in the defense. The boss Stones, Spence, and so I think they've made like really good transfers. So I think they gonna win it again, the league. And for the
Yeah,
Prem, I'd say Arsenal wins it again too, because I think they are like more prepared. Like City is going through a rebuild now, a new coach, like Liverpool also a new coach. So I think Arsenal has everything to win this Premier League. If they don't, it's a huge battle. But yeah, I expect Arsenal to win it. What do you guys think?
yeah. Think back. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for the Champions League, I'm gonna put a boring answer. I actually do see PSG winning it again, and my reason for that is I don't know if y'all like really pay attention, but PSG has like been building like a really stacked B team as well, basically at this point. And throughout the league season, right, they basically rest their main players for like a lot of the games, and they really only play the big players in like the Champions League or the important matches in the league. So with the way they are going, like they're the way are going, I can easily see them going back to back to back at this point. And for La Liga, I do actually see Barcelona winning it again. Like I've said, I do want to see a team other than Barca or Madrid winning it, but it just doesn't really seem to happen. And I think like we have seen like Barcelona, they are progressively still getting better in my opinion. And for Serie A, mm, I think Juventus, I actually struggle to see them like kind of make a comeback. I still think they are like quite average in my opinion. The fall off, in my opinion, is crazy. And AC Milan as well, I think just aren't that crazy. I would actually back Inter to win the league again. And last for the Prem, I actually back City to win the Prem. I mean, I don't want to see them win, obviously, but I think like a lot of people are underestimating them already because they got like new manager and stuff. But I think their team is far from bad, and they have made like a few signings as well. So I do see them like going for a title charge still. I reckon it will be close between them and Arsenal though. And call me crazy, I do also see like Chelsea surprising everyone in the Prem this season.
Fair enough. Yeah, starting off with the Champions League. Of course, I personally really want Liverpool to lift then trophy number 7, but I think Champions League. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my answer. I think Liverpool, although it kind of seems unlikely, but yeah, still gonna back my team. And secondly, moving to Serie A, I am gonna back maybe I think Napoli, Juventus, maybe either one of those two because I don't really think Inter's gonna win it again. I think Napoli and Juventus and these type of team maybe try to step up and give some competition to Inter. So I'm gonna say if I have to choose one between Napoli and Juventus, I'm gonna go for Juve because I think with the players that they have, Yildiz, they have Conchenchao. I think Kolomwani is on loan there as well. Uh, so yeah, I think they could give competition, tough competition to Inter. But yeah, I really want some other team to win than Inter. Now moving to La Liga, as Singh Park said, I mean Barca for now will obviously look the strongest contenders, but yeah, I would really like to see some other team apart from Barca, Real Madrid, and Atletico to kind of step up and maybe try to try for the title. Maybe Sevilla and Athletic Bilbao. Maybe unlikely, but Sevilla and stuff like that. Team like those. And as for the Prem, although as Diego mentioned, I think with the team that they have, the managers obviously remains the same. Arteta, their team got pretty good depth. Yeah, they're definitely one of the favorites to win it again. But um, people after just one game, people are bantering a lot of their teams like Man United, Spurs. They've been making some signings as well. So I think that in the upcoming games we're gonna see some shift in the table, and I don't think Arsenal wins it again. Uh, I think, of course, there are the Liverpool rivals, Manchester United, so I don't want them to win. But uh, I don't think Arsenal wins it again, although they are, I mean, with the depth that they have and the players that they have, they're one of the favorites for sure. But yeah, I really hope maybe Liverpool can go for a double this season or something because we've done it before in the Scots opening season. But at the same time, a lot of our players have gone. Like Salah has gone, and it's gonna take some time to fill his his place because he's been here for like 8 or so years, and yeah, he's been a baller for us. Yeah, the new signings that are gonna come in obviously will take them time to adapt, to reach the numbers Salah was reaching consistently. But yeah, I really hope we at least compete for the top three. And yeah, I think it's gonna be between Arsenal or Manchester City. I'm gonna go for City, which I don't really want to say, but I have to. So yeah, I'm gonna go for City winning the Prem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that, I mean, I don't know if I should be happy or not, but I feel like a lot of people have been like completely writing City off because, like the first game, even though they did win, because, like for majority of the game, I think they were down. And just by that, a lot of people are writing them off, and the fact that they are a rebuild. I just think they will bounce back like way quicker than people are thinking they would take to bounce back.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think let's just end the episode for now. Yeah, hopefully we will return in the upcoming match day with some more, maybe some exciting news, some exciting transfer news, and some good games to talk about. So yeah, yeah, signing off for now, and see you at the next upcoming game week.
Yeah, catch you on the next one.
See you, boys.